Good morning, guys. It is a happy Wednesday. I have today off and I'm really excited for today. I think today marks a very important day. I started the week being really hyped up and I really wanted to make a play suit that I was really inspired by. But I'm realizing more and more that in order to move forward, I have to push through and face one of the biggest things that I've been avoiding for years. Yes, it comes to a point in my life where I really just have to do what is foundational and not run away from it. I think that really sums up my 2021. In that I've been avoiding a lot of foundational things in many areas of my life. I'm talking about like a full-time job, saving, and this. And I realize more and more that in order to rise up, you gotta start from the bottom. Which I feel like as a person, because I learn things very quickly, I tend to want to skip a lot of steps. And it's not doing me any good because then I have a lot of like loopholes and like inefficiencies. So the thing that I've been avoiding, one of the things that I've been avoiding for many years is creating pattern blocks from scratch. So I've actually attended like years on and off of like classes doing pattern making, and you've probably seen in my videos where I have like all these colorful blocks like this. So these are blocks that you use whenever you want to do a pattern. So you start from this block and it's like the basic building block, and then from there you would tweak your designs and get the patterns that you want for your styles. So I've been following, or I've been trying to follow this book. This book is pretty much like an essential to like any pattern maker. I think that this is the book that most curriculums are based off. And I've had this book for years, and this is the 5th edition. As I was googling, they still sell the 5th edition, but they've changed the cover. I don't really know if the contents inside have changed, but I've had this book since like maybe 2012 or around that time. And so I've been loving this book because I get so inspired seeing all these different patterns. I love like the different illustrations, and it basically teaches you like how to do all these different styles, and it's pretty much like the encyclopedia when it comes to pattern making. I'm sure that there are other really great books out there as well, but this is the book that I'm wanting to follow. And I realize more and more that the patterns that I draft in different classes have like slight variations when it comes to how they construct the block, and it's very difficult for me to use this book as a guide using those patterns that I have developed in the past, because it's kind of like, I think you can sort of get where I'm going, whereby in order to follow something thoroughly, you should really start from the base and the foundation rather than try to incorporate your past knowledge and like stuff it in. I mean, it can work if you're very experienced, but at this point in my pattern making, I am not. So I'm realizing more and more that in order to move forward, I really just have to start from the bottom. So this is the biggest challenge I feel for me, and it's really like the beginning of all of this, one that I have been pushing back for many years but has served me no good. So that's the goal for today, to really develop all these blocks from scratch, and then from there I know that I'll be able to pattern make and like take off. So yeah, kind of like gritting my teeth because I know I have to do this, but I know that's gonna be so worth it. Yeah, so I guess the takeaway, and this was something I sort of mentioned earlier, for 2021 is really sticking it out and pushing through all the mental hurdles that I've had in the past where I've always wanted to take the easy way out or like the shortcut when it really doesn't do me any good. So this is just one of the many challenges that I know I have to push through, and I know that it's gonna be worth it. Good morning guys, it is Friday and I'm so happy that I get today off. It is my second last day off for the month, the last one being Wednesday. So yeah, I'm really making full use of today. Today is a bit of a late start in my terms. It is 9 in the morning. I managed to finish the back and the front, which is great. So today I'm gonna be working on the skirt and probably do the torso as well as the pants if I'm able to do that. So here's a bit of a progress report. So what I did was after drafting the front and back block, so I then decided to test the fit out on muslin. So this muslin's a bit stiff, and what I did was I just added seam allowance. So I've tried it on and it actually looks fine, so I think I'm really happy with this block. But I'll put it on now and then you'll sort of see the fit. This also has seam allowance, so it's gonna look a little bit like tight. I'll show you, but that's because there's like a 3/8 inch seam allowance on each side. But overall I'm really happy, and pattern making is not as scary as I thought it would be. Yeah, so this is like what the front block looks like. So like I said, it's a little bit tight because of the seam allowance. Yeah, so otherwise I can imagine that it fits fine. So this fabric looks a little bit stiff on me, but I think it's fine. I think overall there isn't anything that's alarming, just looking at it. And then this is the back. Yeah. So I'm really happy with this. I really hope that my judgment is correct. So I'm gonna take a little bit of a break now, and then I will move on to the skirt and hopefully smash out the torso, bodice, and maybe pants. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create these blocks so that I can then transfer it to plastic, and this will be like my master copy, which I will then be able to generate patterns. So I'm super excited. I finally have this thing going on, and just looking at all the designs is so inspiring, and I cannot wait to just start having fun and like just playing around with this. So I'm really proud of myself for taking this step and overcoming what I've been avoiding for years. It only gets brighter from here, and I can't wait. Good morning guys, happy Saturday. So I know that this studio vlog seems a bit like meh, but I really have to get this foundational blocks done so then we can get to more exciting things like creating different designs and patterns. But I think it's also important especially for myself, to realize that with everything exciting, a lot of times we look at the fruit of people's lives, but we don't see the roots and like the foundations of how it all began. So it's very easy to like glamorize someone's like highlights or their achievements and success, when a lot of times we don't realize the backstory, which is so important, and seeing how and where they started from. So that's kind of the reason why I wanted to vlog all of this and this journey, because I do believe by the grace of God that I will be able to get there in the near future. But for now, it's really about putting in the hours and doing like the hard work. So yeah, I'm actually really happy, and I feel really accomplished this week for really sticking through this, and I actually really enjoyed the process of creating these blocks. It's no longer intimidating as I used to think it was. And I think, as with a lot of things in life, it's always about your mindset. And a lot of times it is what's in here that is stopping us from doing the things that we feel that's weighing on our heart to do and pursue. So I really wanted to encourage anyone watching this to confront and face those fears, because a lot of it is just mind game and you can overcome and you will overcome. So I'm actually waiting for my mom to help me with the final measurements. I have to do a sleeve block and the pants block. So for now I've got the front and back bodice as well as the skirt. Yesterday I had a bit of issue with the skirt because the center back measurements was a bit off, but I managed to rectify it. And I was able to create my muslin skirt and tried it on, and I didn't really see any issues with it. So I'm really hoping that my judgments of these prototypes are correct, so that when I actually do create patterns from here on, it's not going to give me any issues because of the block. So yes, really praying that all goes well. So right now, as I wait for my mom, I will be transferring all these paper patterns onto the plastic so that I can use that as my template. I also want to be doing a torso block as well, which is basically a combination of the top and the skirt, so that you get a dress block. So I'm gonna be working on all of this, and I cannot wait to start creating from here on out. Good morning! I feel like it's been a while since I last did a little bit of a face-to-face. So, I know that this vlog is a little bit boring because it's so fundamental and basic, but I really need to get this done, and I am almost done. So I'm halfway through drafting the trousers, pants draft, and I'm left with doing the sleeve, and then we can move on to actually designing things. I'm really excited because as I was doing this, I thought that I wanted to create a mini collection. So I'm planning to use the same white cotton eyelet-ish sort of fabric that I used in the previous DIY. I know I said I wasn't gonna buy fabric, but to be honest, I really love woven fabrics and I do not like knit fabrics as much. So I was feeling a little bit uninspired with the thought of having to deal with knit fabrics. I know I will deal with that at some point and it will be soon, but for this month I really wanted to focus on this all white collection. So that's quite exciting, and I plan to shoot a lookbook at the end of the month, and it will be outside because the last lookbook I shot, well, I was really happy that I got up and actually shot something. Overall, it was okay, but I knew it wasn't near my best at all. If anything, it was pretty subpar for a video. But the good thing was, like I mentioned, I actually got up and shot something. And towards the end of this month, I want to push myself to shoot something that I am super passionate about, which is storytelling and all the nice B-roll and stuff. Even though those kinds of shots take a lot of time, especially because I'm filming by myself, I am always very proud and inspired by the final look. So that's something that I'm gonna be working towards this month, and I hope that moving forward that is sort of the vibe that I'll be able to project and push through. So I guess for this vlog, it really is back to basics, and while it isn't the most interesting, I know that this will be a launching pad into the future, and I think that is more important. And that is something that I really look forward to. So I hope that that's something that you get out of this video, if anything. Hey guys, so I have a bit of a progress report, and this is probably going to be the last talking segment of this vlog. So I'm really happy I did up the pants pattern in muslin. I'm not going to show it because it's a little bit see-through the fabric. And I'm so happy to say that the fit is more or less great. I just need to do a little bit of tweaks to my pattern, but they're really minor, and I'm so happy that I have majority of the blocks done. All I'm left with is the sleeve, which I'll be working on tomorrow morning before heading out to work. But yeah, I feel so accomplished setting out to conquer this hurdle that I've been avoiding for many years. And I think throughout the process I've realized that a lot of things are just mind over matter. And even though I wish I started a little earlier, in terms of like a few years earlier, I don't really regret it though, because I feel that there is a time and season for everything. And on hindsight, I feel that in the past I was less mature, and it's something that I needed time to realize, and it makes it more meaningful now going into it with a much more mature mindset and heart. So I'm definitely very thankful that I have begun this journey, and I look forward to the many designs and patterns that I will be making moving forward. I'm really excited for this month's mini lookbook and the designs that are gonna come out. Yeah, so I hope that you guys are excited too, and we'll stay tuned to that.